how's everybody doing? DIY Mississippi Filmworks here, more than likely. They might go up on the Asshat channel, but who knows? I've been meaning to cover this for a while. Mr. Labbe, Michael J. Labbe's book, Limitless Wrestling, the first 5 years. Established 2015, Limitless Wrestling, Maine. Now, y'all know me. I love me some independent wrestling. I'd rather watch an independent show than watch anything from WWE. I mean, I've gotten to where I don't mind AEW that much, but still, I'd rather watch an independent show. Well, 2020, sometime it was around the summer, I got into Limitless. I've been hearing about him for a little while from a buddy of mine. We'll just call him General Calzone. I don't know what your name is on Twitter, dude. I would use that. I know his real name. I don't know if he wants that out there. He lives there. He's telling me, man, you need to watch Limitless. You need to watch Limitless. Okay, yeah. And I go look on YouTube, and you go look on YouTube. They put a lot of their matches up there. Well, I got the IWTV channel on my Roku, and they had this weekly show called Limitless The Road. There's 3 seasons. I don't know if they're going to do another season or not, but they've been doing almost monthly like pay-per-view style events. But you pay your $10 on IWTV, you get it. This book is a record book that tells all the events up to a certain time, all the wrestlers, their records, and all that stuff. So when it came out, I had to order a copy. Let's look at the back here. And the reason why, and look, this is something I want to point out. This is how prestigious Limitless is. Their first champion, MJF. Y'all all know MJF. If you're a wrestling fan, you know he did Limitless, he did MLW, now he's one of the biggest heels in AEW. Anthony Green, Retro Anthony Green, he was doing really, when I first started watching Road, he was the champ. He ended up leaving there as the champ, relinquished the belt, went down to WWE as August Gray for a short while on 205 Live, and they got cut back in like June of 2021. He is now back on the independent scene working Limitless, and he's been working, he's worked a few shows for AEW. Then he got Christian Casanova. He's the guy that ended up winning the belt. They had a tournament. He won the belt after Green had to relinquish it. Not too long after he won it, he got picked up by WWE's Carmelo Hayes, I think his name is in NXT. Carmelo something. Amazing guy. We talked to him. We did interview him. Amazing guy. And the current champion is Daniel Garcia, Red Death, who is killing it on AEW. The reason why I didn't get this covered after I got it and read it in like 2 days, and then I loaned it to a friend of mine. I got a friend of mine, local friend, loves Limitless. Watches all their stuff on YouTube. He doesn't have IWTV. He's on a very limited budget. So I loaned it to him. He's like, dude, this book is great. I just got it back from him. So I bought this today and went on sale. Like I said, it's just, welcome to Limitless Wrestling in the first 5 years. In May 2020, during the first month of the pandemic, I was working on a post for my blog, The Wrestling Insomniacs, how to make a spreadsheet showing the wins and losses, the blah, blah, blah. I think it would be like the Limitless version of the old Pro Wrestling Illustrated Almanac and Book of Facts. It goes from the debut in September 2015 at Stage 1 until the 2020 Vacation Land Cup. Vacation Land Cup is their WrestleMania. That's their big show every year. There's Michael Labbe right there. There's the different logos. And the other thing about this is Limitless was started. Randy Carver Jr., this guy is young. Like 24, 25. He started this right out of high school using like his graduation money. We did, go look for the King of Wrestling podcast. Not Kings, King of Wrestling podcast. There's an interview with Randy Carver and a lot of people in here. There's Randy. And the thing about Randy, I love about Randy is that the shows we're doing on the road, he's out there filming. He's doing commentary after the fact, but he's out there, he's ringside filming. He does a little bit of everything, and you never hear a bad word about this guy. And that's the weird thing. He's the only promoter I know of, besides like Don Owens and Paul Bosch, that you don't hear a bad word about. And I'll throw another. The other promoter I've never heard a bad word about from anybody is Josh Newell, who runs Bayou Independent Wrestling. There's Randy Carver. Okay, the numbers. It tells us how many. Most total wins, Anthony Green with 30. Most consecutive wins, Anthony Green. Most total losses, Alexander Lee and Danger Kid at 17. Show results. That's the show. And they run, I think almost every show is in Maine. They had like Flip Gordon, I'm trying to think of some other names in here people would know. Tim Donst. AC Romero, if you watch Impact, or he was also in MLW for a while. AC Romero. AR Fox. It's got some nice pictures. Shit. The fuck is his name? Oh God, Mr. Belmont. That's a name I ain't thought about in years. Trying to find. Oh shit. Okay, this show. Listen to this. Okay, Team New England. Donovan Dijak, who is in WWE. Ace Romero and All Good Anthony Green defeated Team Pazuzu, which is Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson, Ring of Honor, and EYFBO, which y'all know them as they were LAX and Impact. Now they're what? Pride and Powerful, something like this. And AEW, it's Angel Ortiz and Mike Drastic? Okay, it might have been a different member then. Jeff Cobb taking on Keith Lee, Warbird Hansen. Look at this stuff. And this, I love these kind of books. I love these kind of fat books. Yeah, you can look this shit up online, but it's nice to have the book. You just pull it, look at that, going on the ladder. What I really love is, starting to get closer towards the stuff on it. Chris Statlander had a big run there. Danger Kid, The Butcher and the Blade. Gangrel works all over the place. Really nice guy, too. There's, pretty sure it's Ashley Vox and Dummy XO. I'm going to get back here past all the shows, because that's always handy. It's always neat. I love the pictures. And I would love to go to a show. This is The Road Season 1. I like this. Oh, this is great. The Kids, which is Basic Becca, who is now just known as Becca, is blowing up on the new Northeast scene. Chaotic and all the place. Amazing wrestlers. We started watching her. I won some of her first matches. Like, holy hell, this lady is an amazing wrestler, and she gets better every match. CJ Cruz and Ricky Archer defeated High Society Low, which is Paris Vandell, Armani Chaos, and Love Doug. Love Doug is one of my favorite wrestlers. He's a little bitty small guy. And he's like wrestling's Cupid. And I love just, he has a heart-shaped, sparkly fanny pack that carries like heart-shaped glitter in. There was a match where, now you'll see matches where people throw thumbtacks on the thing and spike somebody into them. Those little candy conversation hearts? Love Doug do a bunch of them and spike somebody on it. Love Doug is amazing. And I also love his song, because they did like little skits on the road. Like he was seeing a therapist because he's in love with Davey N, who's one of the reasons I really got into Limitless. I'll get to that in a minute. They played a song and it was Love Gun by Kiss, but it's like Love Doug, doom, 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 Love Doug. It's just great. This is season 1. Season 1 was great. Vacation Land Cup 2020. Where in the main event, for the title, you had JD Drake, who y'all don't know watch Indies a lot, you know him from AEW. Christian Casanova is like Carmelo Hayes, I think is his name in WWE. Daniel Garcia, and then this guy right here. You see this little snot-nosed looking guy right there? That is Alec Price. And he is amazing. This is a guy who I'm betting within a year or two, he's going to be somewhere big, and he's going to be a huge guy. Is amazing talent. Really cool guy to talk to. Like I said, we've interviewed a lot of these people, and this is talking about the shows they had planned for 2020 when the virus happened. And there's Anthony Green and his girlfriend, Ava Everett, another great wrestler, alternate show art. A lot of these people got interviewed on King of Wrestling podcast. For a while there, I was joking, saying we should just call ourselves the Limitless podcast. We talked about Limitless every week. We interviewed a lot of their wrestlers. It was a blast. And I'm going to get into some other, it's a bit of rivals, talking about rivalry, JT Dunn, Ace Romero and JT Dunn, Anthony Green and Ace Romero, AR Fox and Ace Romero, Danger Kid and Alexander. And there's a rivalry that was not in here because it never had a match. But if you know Ultimo Gallows, what's going on, everybody? Ultimo Gallows decided that he didn't like one of the members of the Limitless roster. His name is Dave Dwyer, the Belfast Bulldog, who Ultimo Gallows here nicknamed the Belfast Baldo because he has no hair. And we had a war of words all over Twitter and all this. And I even put out a challenge. I got my Hood Mark Lucha Libre Central American Heavyweight Championship, and I challenged him to a match. And he told me anytime, any place. So I told him, okay, The time is whenever you can get your ass down here. The place is Hurricane Ronald Lake. Doug's never showed up. I'm sorry, Dave. Dave has never showed up. Wrestler Profile. This one we get into. Okay. Ace Austin. One called Manders. Ace Austin. Ace Romero lists all their matches there. A little bit about them. Adam Booker. Adam Brooks. Adam Falcon. AJ Gray. Alec Price. That's him. The Prize. 6 foot tall, 175 pounds. East Boston, Massachusetts. Record 6-5. This kid is amazing. Trained by Bo Douglas at the Bell Time Club. Price debuted in Let's Wrestle. Let's Wrestle is a sister fed of Limitless. They have puts on some really good shows. And when I get to her, I'll explain more. Alex Mason, Alex Chamberlain, Alexander Hammerstone, woo! Alec Reynolds, Alexander Lee, the bald, beautiful bastard of banger. This dude is great. Like, he don't feel pain. It's going to be a long one, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Limitless here. Alley Cat, who's now known as Alley Catch. Out. Interviews, she's a fun person to listen to. Seems like a really cool chick to hang out with. In ring, with the right opponent, she can be very entertaining. I'll give it this. She goes all out. Amazing Red. Andrew Everett, who I don't hear nothing about anymore. Andy Williams, Anthony Bennett, Anthony Gangon, Anthony Green, all good, Retro Central and Retro AG. 6'2", really? 191 pounds. I wouldn't have thought he was that tall. And the other thing about Limitless, and this might turn some people off, they don't really have like a women's division. The women fight the men. And the women will fight the women, and the men will fight the men, but they have, it don't matter what your sex is, you're going to fight, And I understand some people just don't like intergender matches. I understand that. I don't mind them. Anthony Henry, Antonio Nickel, A.R. Fox, the whole Fox and shows. Okay. I've met A.R. Fox. That might be his build height. He is not 6 foot. Really nice guy, though. Ashley Vox. This is, oh my God. Before I started watching Limitless, she's 5'3", 114 pounds, Providence, Rhode Island. I saw her on NWA Power, and that was still airing on YouTube. And the first thing I noticed, I was just like, oh my God, she looks like that Zendaya chick. She is just one of the best wrestlers I have ever seen. And I know she's gotten a few tryouts at Impact and AEW, and hopefully something happens. Trained by Doug Summers. Atticus Cogar. Ava Everett. Ava take another really great women's wrestler. I love, still having a few going on with, I love Doug. He calls it the Crazy Witch Lady. B.A. Tatum, the last Street Fighter. This is a big old black guy with a crazy beard that he beats the hell out. I love one of his moves is he rips his shirt off and rubs the opponent's face in his chest hair. Really cool guy. Another one we've interviewed. The Bacteria. I don't think they're even around there. Bear Boulder, Bear Bronson. Wasn't Bear Bronson in WWE for a while? Big Beef, Gnarls Garvin, Big Daddy Cruz. Holy shit, Bo Brady. We used to train by Luke Hawks, Mr. Mexico 2, and Ray Campbell. No. We used to watch him in Power Slam Productions and Wildcat. Brad Hollister. Okay, this is the thing. Brad Hollister, some of these other people, I knew him back in 2014 because there used to be a fed called New England Championship Wrestling. And they had a 30-minute TV show that got put up every Friday. It aired on TV up in the New England area, Massachusetts. I think Boston. But they put it up on YouTube, and I got hooked on it. And I became a huge fan of a lot of their talent. Brandino Davis. This guy is great. I can remember last year, 2020, right before Christmas, like a day or two before Christmas, Brandon Turner, the brilliant one as he calls himself, but the people that know him better call him the balding one, and Ultimo Gallows, myself here, we interviewed him on the King of Wrestling podcast. That's when we recorded, and it was a blast. And that was the cool thing about all this Limitless talent. We'd interview them, and usually the interview would be 30 minutes to an hour, but then after you get through doing the interview, we sit there and just bullshit for a while, and it was amazing. Brandon Kirk, Brandon Thurston, Brandon Watts, Brett Domino. Some of these I don't recognize the name. Brett Ryan Dawson, BRG. Recent one, Brandon interviewed him recently, if I remember, for King of Wrestling podcast. I was not on that episode. Brian Cage the Machine, known from AEW, Who Watches the Watchmen. Somebody at Limitless is a huge comic nerd. Brian Fury. Brian Milianis. You know him, he teams up with the Beer City. He used to team with the Beer City Bruiser in Ring of Honor. Brian Myers, the Prince of Queens. Brian Pillman Jr. Brody King, yes. Bryce Donovan, Britt Mason. Bucks Belmar, Cajun Crawdad. Caleb Conley, I've actually got to meet. Really great guy. Champ Matthews. Okay. Champ Matthews and was it Connor Murphy? Or the competition. Imagine every cocky jock when you went to high school or college. They thought they were hot shit because they played football or basketball. That's these two guys when they're in the ring, and they're really fun to watch. And this is something that only local people will get, but Connor Murphy looks like he is straight out of Sontag, Mississippi. If you're from the area, you will get that. I used to put it on Twitter. I was like, hey, you look like you're straight out of Sontag. And he'd be like, I don't even get it. I sent him a message. He explained it to me. He laughed. He's like, okay, that's kind of cool. Channing Thomas. Oh, man. Chris Dickinson. Chris Hero. I forgot Chris Hero worked with him. Christian Casanova. This guy is amazing. Amazing. I hope he does everything he can in WWE. Chuck O'Neal. CJ Cruz. This is one of those guys. The first one I was like, didn't nothing about him. But I mean, it wasn't horrible. It's like, okay, one of them guys where I'll watch the match, but I'm not going to seek out his match. And then on the road, every match, he improved even more. I'm like, man, this guy's really good. Cody Rhodes wrestled up there one time. Colt Boom Boom Cabana. There's Connor Murphy. All right, look at that guy. If you're from this area of Mississippi, tell me he does not look like he is straight out of Sontag. Kobe Christ, Craig Mitchell, Cornelius Crumbs, The Hoods, Davey Karash, The Hoods, Chris Pyro, Dan Barry, yes, Dan Maff, Dan Terry, Danger Hawk. Notice a lot of, here we go, this is our current champion. Daniel Garcia, 5'11". This guy, he reminds me, he's like, okay, you do Ken Shamrock, Steve Blackman ring style. Ken Shamrock, Steve Blackman, and like a little bit of like Owen Hart and mixing it. You got, you know what I'm saying? And he's kind of playing, comes out in trunks and boots and just wrestles. Really, really, really good wrestling. Danny Miles. Darby Allin, yes, Darby. Okay, here we go. There's old Dave Dyer, the Belfast Bulldog. 5'10", 227 pounds from Belfast, made record 1-1. Shows wrestled on the road season 1, episodes 6 and 9, American Legion Post 84 Ornament. Began training at the Limitless Dojo in 2018, only intended to stay for one class but never stopped going. Dyer chronicled his training in a series of articles for the Kennebec Journal, the local newspaper. His first match was June 9th, 2019 at Speedway. His favorite moment in wrestling today was February 26, 2020, where he main evented the first Limitless Dojo showcase show against his teacher and mentor, Danger K. Okay. Dave, I'm a great kayfaber. Dave is one of the coolest guys on the planet. I have a blast. We have not talked in a little while, but him and I, there'd be many days where we're just going back and forth on each other on Twitter. I was sitting there, I was like, dude, I hope I would need, like, man, I'm in the gym working out. You're helping me pass time. Because his whole thing is, I never defend my title and all this stuff. And talking about me eating Bluebell ice cream and drinking, what did he say? I couldn't even afford Mountain Dew. I'm drinking Mountain Lightning. Just great stuff. And go look for this match. It's on the Lemons channel. It's Dave Dyer. I come on calling Dave Dwyer for some reason. Versus Doug Weiser. Because Dave told Doug, anytime, any place. That's one Dave says, anytime. So it's just look it up on YouTube. It was like my number 3 match of the year for 2020. I've watched that match like 40 times. It's amazing. Davey Boy Smith Jr., Davis Starr, Davey Ed. Okay, David, she's only 5 foot. Davey Ed was one of my other favorites from New England Championship Wrestling that showed up here. And when we first got the interview, I was like, oh my God. When Brandon told me, he's never like, I got to be on there. And it kind of surprised her. I knew all this about New England Wrestling. She's like, how? I watched it on YouTube. And she told me so much. And this lady is amazing. I don't know how long she debuted in 2013. Trainer Brian Fury. She is Wrestle Prime in New England area. But also wrestled in Canada. Tour Marvelous in Japan. Go on the King of Wrestling podcast feed and go look for the Davey interview. It is great stuff about going to Japan and all the craziness over there. And just a really nice lady who will beat your ass. She's one of them that, honestly, I when I see her match up against a guy, that's one of my issues at first with intergender wrestling. Is like you'd have like these little bitty small women against like a 6'6" guy, and it just didn't work. With David, it's believable because she could whoop ass, and she is just so nice. I had a blast talking to her then. All right, we got Delia Doom. Delmy Exo. This is Ashley Vox's sister. 5'7", 145 pounds. She is amazing. Her and Ashley team up as the Sea Stars, which I didn't get at first. I'm like, okay. Then I was like, oh, Sea Star sounds like sister. They are sisters. And from my understanding, she is now helping her boyfriend, fiance, I don't know if they're actually engaged or not, run. It's called, Pro Wrestling Grind. And I'll get to him in a minute. Demarest. Deanna Purrazzo, you know her, Impact. Dick Justice. DJZ, he went to NXT. I don't know if he's doing anything. DL Hurst. Oh, that's male. Dominic Guarini. Yes, the Bone Collector. Amazing wrestler. Dominic Dijakovic. I got into him because through my mother, I am part Croatian. Her father was 100% Croatian. He was the first in the family to be first on that side of the family to be born here in the States. So my mother is half. I'm a fourth. And you don't hear a lot about Croatia. They call it Yugoslavia that knows Croatian. And I was like, oh man, we got a Croatian wrestler, you know. Dorian Graves, Doug Weiser. Okay, Dirty Doug Weiser. Vagrant Freedom Fighter, 6 foot tall, 180 pounds, Union Station, Portland, Maine. Record 0-0. Okay, Doug's had some wins since then. Okay. Y'all know Ultimo Gallows. You see a picture of me. I'm always wearing, I got a lucha mask on. Usually it's an Ultimo Guerrero mask. I got a big old long goatee. I don't shave that often because I hate shaving. And I'm usually in like a t-shirt and jeans. You know, I'm not dressed up. Well, the first time I saw, it was episode 5 of The Road, season 1. First time Brandon and I saw Doug Weiser, he's like, oh my God, that's you, dude. So we got Doug on the show. And this is probably my favorite interview ever on the show. We start talking, and Brandon did not realize he put his mic on mute. Doug Weiser and I talked for like 45 minutes about all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to bring this up in a second. We talked about hot dogs and wieners and just all kinds of stuff. And then I finally like, well, Brandon, do you have any questions? And we realized, oh, we think we lost Brandon. No, he muted himself. I'll live through this interview because he's recording on his end. You can hear him talking. We're ignoring him. Well, that's when Doug Weiser. I brought the Doug. Like, okay, you know, he's talking. I was like, dude, do you know the masshole Mike McCarthy? The masshole. I think anybody that's into indie wrestling always has that one wrestler that you absolutely love, and they might not be the best in ring, but sometimes you're just like, oh my God, the masshole. That's my guy. He just entertained. He looks like a skinhead from Boston, Massachusetts. That's why he's the masshole. Covered with tattoos. He usually comes out wrestling like a pair of basketball shorts and a basketball jersey. And he can play heel or face. Amazing. And he should be listed in here. But Doug, somehow how great Masshole was. I was like, tell him he's got a major fan there. I want a Masshole shirt. And somehow, anybody out there listening knows how to get in touch with the Masshole. And if he's got shirts, I want a Masshole shirt. The Masshole is one of those guys that I think everybody should know about. And what got me into him, his ring works great. But he was a heel at the time. He was fighting against Toto Loco, who he called Bozo Yo-Yo. In ECW, I think it's like the TV title. Well, Masshole's coming out to the ring, and all these little kids at the rail like, Masshole, man, going on. He goes, well, guess what? I'm an adult, which means I can eat candy anytime I want to. He can work to an adult crowd. He can work to a kid crowd. Just an amazing wrestler. And Doug, and me and Doug still talk off and on. I'll send him a little message in there. Really nice guy. Doug Weiser was doing his dance breaks where he get out and dance. Just great stuff. And like I said, really, really nice guy. You can tell he cares about people. Actually, I told Doug this in private. I'll put it out here. The night we did the podcast with him, I've mentioned before, I suffer from clinical depression. I have bipolar disorder. And I have days where I don't even want to get out of bed, and sometimes I don't. Well, that day I was just real down. Like, real down. Didn't want to eat, didn't want to do anything, but I'd already told Brandon, yeah, I'll do the show. So when I record, I go sit out on the pier on Hurricane on the lake, because we do it over the phone. And Doug cheered me up so much when it was over. I sent him a nice little message like, dude, I appreciate it. You know, I told him what was going on, what had happened. And he's like, oh man, he goes, I appreciate it. He goes, anytime I can help out, homie. And we bullshit every once in a while. I don't buy many wrestling shirts unless I buy them directly off the guy. Because or the lady, I like to buy them directly from them, so I know the money's going to them. But after that interview with Doug Weiser, I'm like, dude, you got a shirt? And I got a Dirty Doug Weiser t-shirt with him on it that people at shows, when I wear shows, mistake it for me. And Doug, I hope you don't mind me revealing this. Doug told me, I was like, man, your mask looks good. He goes, yeah, it's an Ultimo Guerrero mask I modified. I'm like, oh, he's got duct tape on it. He's a wrestling hobo. He initially started training in 2017 at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy, but did not conclude his training until 2018 at the Limitless Dojo. He made his in-ring debut in 2019 at Let's Wrestle show, Curl of the Barrel, in a tag team match against the Stigma with his tag team partner, Jacob Drifter. I'm going to get into Jacob when I get to him. This is going to be a two-parter. You know what? This is definitely going to be a two-parter. So, I'm going to finish this page, and we're going to do a part two. One of Weiser's favorite moments was his tag match against the Main State Posse at Let's Wrestle. Mark Godfrey benefit show and wrestling in front of his whole family in his hometown at an NAWA North Atlantic Wrestling Association event. On that show, he wrestled a singles match and opened bout in a tag team in the main event against Mr. USA Tony Atlas, the Dozer, who I seen him once. That was it. And Dylan next to Dweller. Dylan is another great wrestler. His gimmick is he like Aquaman kind of. And this guy, Dylan is not a small guy, like 5'10", 280 pounds. I'm 6'3", and I'm 215. He moves like he's a lot smaller. Another really good guy to talk to. But you know what? I'm going to end this now. I don't want it to be too big a file. But I hope y'all enjoy that and come back, because a day or so after this goes up, part 2 will be going up. We'll finish the Limitless book. So, hey, there's that thumbs up. Remember, man, life is too short to watch wrestling you hate. There's so many options for free wrestling or inexpensive wrestling. If you're hating on WWE, why are you watching Raw every week? Go on YouTube. If you're watching this, you got access to YouTube. You got Championship Wrestling for All. You got Limits. You got all these other feds. Go find you some wrestling you like and watch it. And like I said at the end of every podcast, live free, love hard, and die with your mask on. Laters.